Hey everybody, what's going on? Tempo Craze coming at you. Long awaited video, I know. A bunch of people have been asking, and I've been trying, but my bank keeps giving me rolls that are brand new. And while some of them are okay to hunt, I wanted a circulated roll or two, so that's what I had to go single rolls instead of a box. So we're going to start off. I'm just going to show you how I coin roll hunt, and then you guys can, there's other people that coin roll hunt different ways. You can do it however you feel you want to do it, but this is how I go about it, and then you can always adapt it to how you want to do it. So here we go. I do have a roll of quarters. They are circulated quarters. This one on the end looks really nice, actually. Not so much on that one, but we're going to go through one roll together. I have another roll of quarters right there that's circulated, and a roll of nickels that's circulated. I'm going to go through one roll of quarters together, and then we'll bring you back. Then we'll stop. Then I'll pause the video. I'll go through another roll, bring you in, show you what I found, and then again with this one. That's how I'm going to do it. If you need more explanation, we can always go through one roll again together in a future video. I'm having trouble getting circulated rolls though right now. I don't know why. So anyway, the way I do it, this is going to be hard because I've never done it with the camera in front of me. Yeah. So the way I do it, I know people use a screwdriver and they'll get under there. I've seen that. I prefer not that method, or not to do that method. I'd rather use my fingernails. Less chance of scratching something. Because if you accidentally go too deep, you could mar an edge or something. And imagine if that was a really nice coin that you really needed. Okay, so we'll start off. We open it up. We look down at it. We're looking for a silver edge. There's no silver edges. There's a newer quarter right there. But we have no silver edges. Alright. That's alright. And we'll just kind of lay them out. It's not exactly how I wanted them to lay, but hey. Whatever. Alright, well, now it's just a matter of going through them. You got a Philly from Indiana. Alright. So I usually put my state quarters in one pile. Okay, so now this is a Salt River Bay 2020. Remember, 2019 and 2020 quarters could have the West Point mint mark on them, and if it does, then we're in the money, right? So let's flip and find out. Nope, we got a Denver. Alright, so we'll set that one over here. This is America the Beautiful. Another Philly, Connecticut. We'll set that over there. $2017. Okay, that one will go there. North Carolina. Over here. Alright, so here we got an 83 Denver. It'll be an eagle back. I always put my eagle backs. It's a little bit over there. Off to the side. Here's a North Dakota. Ooh, seen better days. Got another eagle back. That back looks really sharp, actually. Can still see those breast feathers and everything. Very nice looking. That's a 94 even. It's pretty nice for a 94. Okay, so that'll go over there. Next one, we got a Philly, Virginia. Rough shape, but over there. Another Philly. Goes over there. All right, here's a newer one. What do we got? 2022. And I've talked about these before. Let's zoom in here a little more here. All right, here we go. We always want to check the nose and the corner of the mouth there for any die chips. So if it would be in the corner of the mouth down here, we'd call that a drooling George, or you can end up with a wart on the nose. There's also a strike through that can happen over here. I don't see one on this one. Okay, so we got a Michelangelo. So now, let's see if the phone will work with me here. Let's zoom her in. And I gotta try to stay steady. That'll be the fun part. We're looking at that earring. I know it's kind of grainy, hard to see. Let's see. So we're looking for a doubled earring. You also want to look at the end of the bird here for a die chip. That would be another good thing. Let's see. Let's see if we can use the loop. Ugh, loop's dirty. I don't see any doubling. I'll check here though. Alright, I checked under the scope here and stuff. I didn't see any doubling on it. So, but I did set it off to the side here. Over here. It's in really good condition. Now, let's see. Let's zoom around a little bit here. Got a Philly, Chickasaw, 2011. Okay. Looks like we got another eagle back. I keep having to pause the recording. I got a tickle in the throat. Little coughing going on. Alright, that's a 98 Philly. That goes off to the over by the other eagle backs. Off to my right. $1988 Denver. Great Smoky Mountain, Tennessee. Love that. So this part's not so much trying to find those errors and those specialty coins. For the most part here, what I'm doing is I'm separating them out into different categories. Because when you go and look, if you're going to look for, let's say, errors for like state quarters, well, that's what you're going to look up. If you're going to look up parks, different parks and stuff for errors, that's what you're going to go look up. So I just find it easier. Ooh, that quarter's seen better days. I just find it easier to have them in specific piles. I mean, even I don't know what all the different errors are. Oh, ouch. So this is not an error. This is what we call a PMD, or post-mint damage. Wow. That quarter has a parking lot quarter, maybe? Sometimes they'll get, set on a parking lot and slide a lot and get all wrecked like that. Driven over. Hoofda. That's a bad one. So that one, I'm not even going to care about. We're going to just set it off to the side, out of the way, because, yeah. Now this one also has some damage, but we're going to check it for an error, because there is an error that comes with these ones. But it does have this little, right here, you see that little line? That's a... that would be the roller of death, or circle of death, from the when it's going into the chute, it kind of rolls around and stuff for when they're putting all these together, and then it crimps, and that's one of those two things will cause that. But there is an error that we can check on the back of this. So, and if it has that error, the circle of death won't mean much. Ah, man, the old man of the mountain. Funny thing, well, not funny, but the the rock face here that looks like a man no longer actually exists. It actually fractured and fell off. So, just some history there for you. Oh, we got another newer quarter. Oh, it is a 2023. All right. These suffer from the same fate, though, that the other one, the 2022s, with the die chip down here or the wart. That one's in really nice shape, actually. Okay. Bessie Coleman. And I'll talk about some of the errors you can find here. Well, I guess I did with the Maya Angelou. I can do it there too. Get out the pen again. So here on the wings, you want to look for die chips, little bumps that happen up there. Also, you can get doubling over here on the CTC. There can be die chips up on her glasses. Those are the main ones. This one looks pretty good though. Got another eagle back. 89. This will be another eagle back. Maryland. Now, if you're doing, like, say, a state quarter book, this is a great way to do a state quarter book because there's a lot of state quarters you can find that are in really good shape out there. That Washington quarter has seen better days, so that'll go off to the side. I don't even want to try to look for any errors on it because it's just too far gone. I found BU, or Brilliant Uncirculated, state quarters this way. Ones that I don't know how they made it that long. Maybe somebody had it in like a coin jar or something, and then look at this thing. There's the one little nick right there. But 2014, that's in pretty good shape. 89 Denver. New Mexico. No, Arizona. Arizona, yeah. See, look, I mean, that's not in bad shape. I got a newer one again. 23 Philly. Ah, the Edith. The Edith Kanakoa. These will get die chips all over the places and doubling and stuff too. This one here particularly, I'm not going to go through all the die chips because there are way too many and way too much doubling that can happen up in her headdress and stuff. It's best if you just get a scope, put it under a scope and look at it. Alright, here we go. Denver, 2016, the John Brown's Fort. This one, the errors can be, we look for on top of the roof all the way across here for die chips, or even up here for extra die chips. That's snow on the roof. The barrels can get doubled. The windows, you'll look and see if they're doubled. So, and I'm going to look at all these things offline, or I'll pause it, look at all this stuff, and come back and let you know what I find. Massachusetts. Whether I find anything or not. Oldest one, 67. Alright, well, I'm going to look through this stuff. It'll take me a few minutes, but for you it'll be instantaneous. Alright, YouTube, let's see. So this is all kind of precarious here. I got my little stand here all sitting all precarious. And I got out my scope though, because I did find an error on this one here, 2017. Here, the Frederick Douglass one. On top of the house, let's see here. Okay. I might need to zoom in to show this a little better. Alright. There we go. Next to the chimney, to the right of the chimney, right here is where we're looking. That's a die chip. That would be snow on the roof die chip right there. That right there is a die chip. So what happens is a chip falls out of the die, and then you end up with a blob like that on some of the coins. So that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for errors. There's a die chip right there. So that's, like I say, some of the stuff we're looking for. So that's a good quarter to set aside. It's a good one right there. Next, I want to show you on that Ellingson, because I did say there's a few different errors, but this one does not have them. But so some of the things you'd want to look for is this will be could be all doubled on the Duke Ellingson area. And then also, let's see if we can get that to focus a little better. You can end up with doubled keys or doubled fingers even. This one looks fine. It's pretty wore too. It's really tough to tell. Another one I wanted to show you real quick, and this one doesn't have any errors either, but this is the this one here is the effigy mounds. Effigy mounds in Iowa. Effigy mounds, Iowa. I gotta bring this back up though to see this. Get a better look at it. Alright. You can end up with, on these mounds, you can end up with little die chips that'll happen around them. Again, this one does not have any of those. But since I want to grab the scope out, anyway, let's see here. Yeah, since I want to grab the scope out, I figured I could show you on some of these other quarters, you know, kind of the errors you'd be looking for. So here's that Maya Angelou. You can end up with her earring here having like a second loop. It's really hard to tell when you get one, but it'll have like a little second loop right here. Or the bird's nest could be a die chip here. I've even found one that had a die chip right here that came down below her elbow. So that's what you look for on that. Here's the Bessie Coleman one. So again, we'd look for a die chip up in this area, on top of this wing, on top of this wing, under this wing. We'd look at her glasses around them, see if there's any die chips. And then the CTC here can end up being doubled. So we just take a good look around. These are not die chips, this is damage. Also, on the front here, on the obverse as it's called, you look, like I say, at the nose here to see if there's any die chips. And right here in the corner of the mouth. On the Fort 1, the John Brown's Fort, we're going to be looking at, that's not a die chip, that's air, or not air, PMD. But we're going to look at the barrels to see if any of them are doubled. We're going to look at windows for doubling. We're going to get dog hair off of it. We're going to look up along here for snow on the roof. And then we're going to do the Connecticut one. The Connecticut quarter here. This one's really difficult actually to see. So I do recommend a scope so you can go over the whole thing, but you'll end up getting doubled branches on the tree. And they're apparent. When you see them, you'll know. That one doesn't have any. But you'll see them and you'll know that that's what they were. So I've gone through all of the quarters except for my eagle backs. The eagle backs, I mean, really, there's not a whole lot. There are some doubling ones where you'll find like some doubling in the letters or whatever. There's also one called a Firebird. That's 1950. It's a silver one, so you can get, however, if it's prior to 1990, you can get repunched mint marks, RPMs. They're a little bit rare though. So let's see if we can find a nice quarter to look at. Pretty rough shape. You think a quarter looks great until you get it under a scope, and then you realize it's not so great. By the way, this scope is not that expensive. So if you're looking for a cheap one, I mean, this is, I think I got this one. It's usually like 45, 50 bucks, and I think I got it on sale for, or maybe this one's 80 and I got it on sale for 40. I don't know, from Amazon. It's pretty cheap. It's pretty cheap to get. And it'll save your life instead of looking through the, ooh, hey, that worked pretty good. Looking through the loop all the time. Especially if you got eyes that are a little bit worse, as I do as you get older. 93, Denver. So every quarter, I do look at them this way. I usually do them a lot faster just because I know what I'm looking for. It takes time and a lot of research to know what to look for. There's some great books out there I've mentioned before. There's the Red Book. There's Strike It Rich book. That's actually a pretty good one. Strike It Rich with Pocket Change. There's some great websites out there to look up. Variety Vista is a great one. They have a lot of theirs and stuff. Alright, here you go. This is a good one to look at. You see how Trust looks like it could be doubled? It's actually not a DDO. That is what we call MD, machine doubling. So as the die wears, it'll start to do this, machine doubling. Now, to me, that's still an error. I still consider this an error myself, and the community is starting to come around to this as an error. But you have to, if you're listing it on, say, eBay, you have to list it appropriately. Don't be listing this as a DDO or double die obverse. You need to get a good image like this is here, and list it as an MD machine or a machine doubling. Because if you list it as a DDO, somebody's going to buy it thinking it's a DDO when it's not, and then you look like a fool and you just rip somebody off at the same time. And we're trying to educate people here. We want to make sure that people understand what they're buying so that they spend their money appropriately. We're just going to look at a few of these together. You ever wonder what all that crap looks like up close? Yuck. So in some instances, I know they always say, don't clean your coins, don't clean your coins, don't clean your coins. In some instances, though, if this was a really nice quarter or had some, was really, really nice, I would probably still run this under some water or put it in a soapy water bath and try to get some of that gunk off of it. But you don't want to be using anything where you're like rubbing on the surface or anything, because that'll leave scratches that really deteriorate. But like soapy water bath, and just use your fingers or something just lightly to get rid of some of that gunk, because I've had some really bad ones, and then underneath that gunk is just a beautiful coin that ended up staying in my collection. Even 98 last year of the Eaglebacks before we went to state quarters. There's actually a couple channels out there that are really popular where they've tested a few different types of cleanings for cleaning coins, just to get rid of some of the gunk and stuff that's on them. And there's things that work. There's some old timers that'll tell you that you should use acetone, straight acetone. There's also people that say olive oil. You soak your coin in olive oil for weeks, even months, to remove the stuff off of it. There's a ton of different things out there. Personally, like I say, mild detergent, warm water, it'll take pretty much all the stuff off. All the gunky stuff anyway. And you're not going to ruin the coin. You're not going to take away any toning or anything like that. All you're doing is just trying to get rid of some of the grime that's on there. I'm looking at the 94 here specifically, because the 94 does have some DDO DDRs, like this one. I'm sure you guys all see the DDR by now, double die reverse. It's not worth anything extra, but it is kind of a neat thing. Right here, this is actually a doubling of the olive branch, which is kind of neat. It's not going to add any value, but it's cool to see. But there is some actual DDO DDRs that'll happen with on there. So yeah, that was kind of a fun little exercise. Let me see if I can find real quick while we're doing this here. I will be right back again for you guys. It'll be instantaneous. Alright, I just looked through some of my coins real quick so that I could find some error coins that I can show you guys what some of the errors look like. So this first one is a wheat penny. It's a 52 wheat penny, San Francisco, S over S. So let's get that out of there. Alright, now we're gonna bring this in a little. I'm gonna zoom this down in there a little closer, make it easier to see, and we'll sharpen the image up. Alright, there we go. A little bit more. There we go. Alright, it's pretty easy to see that there's a second S right here, with this S being, it's underneath this other S. So what happens here with this is that the die, as it's stamping all these coins, for some reason the mint mark will wear out on it, and they'll take a hand punch and they'll actually, well, they don't anymore, but they take a hand punch and punch in a new die or a new mint mark, and sometimes they'd miss where it's supposed to go, so you'd end up with a S over S type thing like this. Very cool penny. This one's fire. This one's so nice. In fact, let's move this back up. I'll show you the whole thing. This penny's in amazing shape. This is an MS penny all day long, mint state. It's just in gorgeous shape. I mean, I've talked about these things on my show here before, where we're looking at here the ear. There is a nick there, but you see the ear detail. You can see the jawline and the cheekbone detail, no problem. All the letters look good. The coat, great lines. You can see the bow tie. And then when we flip the coin over on the back, the wheat stalks look great on both sides, nice and sharp. Everything looks really good. There is some markings here. This is a fingerprint. I've talked to you about that before, how fingerprints can etch these coins. So that's what all that is. Carbon spotting, some people call it. And I bought this coin. I've tried selling it a couple times on Whatnot, but Whatnot's a bad place, I think, to sell coins that are errors, because people on there don't understand errors as much. So if you're gonna sell errors, that's an eBay thing, really. Alright, so here we go. We got this one. Let's see. Alright, so this is a 2022 Philly. It's a anime Wong. Anime Wong quarters can actually have die chips around the eye, down in the eyes areas here. They call it the crying Anna. So that's something to look for in the back there of those. But this one has an obverse chip right there. Just a little one right there at the tip of Washington's nose. A little wart or pimple. Not an expensive coin by any means. It adds a couple bucks. So you're probably, $2 or $3 coin right there. Not expensive by any means though. What do we got here? Here's a 1950 Denver wheat penny that I pulled out. Now this one has die chip right there. See that underneath the 9? Little die chip right there. So I did mark that it has a die chip. Just a little one. The rest of the coin doesn't look horrible though. So this is an 84 Philly, and I put down that there's a die crack on the back. So let's see, where's that die crack? Oh, okay, yeah, right there. You can see that plain as day, can't you? Right by, at the end of cent, there's a nice die crack right there. And then another one, I pulled out another. This is a 1955 D over D FS 503. So FS designation comes from the Cherry Picker's Guide. And this one's really easy to see. So we'll zoom down in a little bit here, but this one's pretty easy to see it. All right. There you go. You can really see that one, that D over D right there. Got that second D underneath that's just a little down and tilted. This one I did find myself in coin roll hunting. In this condition, this coin I would say should be probably up in that $30-ish range, because this coin is really nice actually. As we've talked about before, got lots of detail left. Yeah, there's some spotting and stuff, but it's in really nice shape. So anyway, on with the hunt, I guess. I'm gonna open up a roll on camera, and then I'll go through it off and bring it back with what I find. Alright, so next we're gonna open up another quarter roll here. I know it's circulated. This is Washington crossing the Delaware. There is a cool die chip to look for on that one that is worth really good money. I actually have a few of them. I haven't found a spitting horse error yet, though. Well, I mean, I have. I mean, I'm just saying in the rolls here. Usually that's a pretty common one. So again, we'll open it up, take a quick look, see if there's any silver. I don't see any silver coins. I don't see any foreigns. But we never know until we get into it. So I'm going to go through, well, here, I'll show you this one real quick here. Alright, so the era you'd be looking for, they call it the thorny crown. It'd be on top of his hat here. And they can be a little one or this huge one that goes all the way up to that E in E Purbis. E Purbis. So that's what you're looking for on those. This one's also got a ring of death on it. A big ring of death. Wow. So when you see these on eBay, which you'll see all the time, people put these out there as an error, mint error. It is not a mint error. Do not fall for that crap. It is not a mint error. It's PMD. It happens in the roller and crimper. Post-mint damage. Not a mint error. Also, when you see the ones that say, you know, an older one, it'll say filled in mint mark. While that is technically a mint error, because it's a die chip that's in there, they're so common it's not worth it. So I'm gonna look through this and I'll bring it right back. Alright, so went through all those. I was gonna say, while I was going through this, I thought of something else that I wanted to mention. I'm not just looking for error coins when I'm going through these. I'm also looking for exceptionally good quality coins, like from the 80s. 80s were really bad at coinage, and they looked like crap. If you go and look at PCGS, let's say, and look for like look for stuff in that let's say 83 quarters, for instance. Nope. Let's look at like an 83 Philly. Okay, so in like an 83 Philly, we're just gonna pop my other phone up here. 83 Philly. MS67 Plus is a top grade for that is all. 4,500, 67, 650. Even in a 65, that's a $45 quarter. So as you can see, because they're just hard to come by, they're very rare to get one in decent shape. So, and the thing is, it's not like there was any shortage of them. I mean, 675 million or 673 million of them minted just from Philly. So I'm always looking for those. Another one that I thought I should mention that I always look for too is what's called a transition coin. So we have here is a 1965 Philly quarter. In 64, this would have been 90% silver. So you always want to look at the edge here and see, you can see the split, the clad layer. That means this is the clad. But there is known as transition coins, which could be you have the 65 in a silver that was not a proof set type coin, and those are worth a bit more money. In fact, a lot more money. Here's another one of these 94s I wanted to show you though real quick, with that machine doubling, a little bit more substantial than the last one. So just so you're aware of that. And then here's another Maya Angelou, and I'm gonna have to really bring this thing down to get a good look at it. We want to take a look at that earring up close. Alright, so this one does have an error. See where this comes back up? This is actually, you can kind of see this here. It looks like another circle here. This is one of the doubled earrings. This one's in pretty rough shape, this coin. So, I mean, I probably can get like $2 or $3, but think about it. This is a quarter, a fairly new quarter, and I can get $2 to $3 on it. It's got some spotting on it. But still, that's $2 or $3, you know, that's pretty good for a quarter. So now we'll get set up to open up a roll of nickels. I know this episode's getting really long, but I really want to try to give you guys some ideas of what I'm looking for, and then when we do some more coin roll hunting later on, you'll know what I'm looking for, or what to look for and stuff, and it'll be a lot quicker because I will just open the roll on camera, and then I'll go through it and bring you back with what I find. It'll be a lot faster that way. Alright. Okay, we got our nickel roll here. I did check, this is an 05, I believe, end, so this should be, I mean, if it's an uncirculated one that's old like that, that could be worth good too. But I'm pretty sure this one's circulated. For nickels, you're going to find, if you do find a silver, it's only going to be 35% silver war nickel. So the chances are pretty slim that you're going to find one. I have found them. I mean, I'm not going to say you won't find one, but they're slim. Let's see, what's this back here? 79. I just saw this edge and I was like, huh, wonder what that is, but it's just a postman damage. So I'll get rid of that. Alright, so here's a 2015. Let's talk about this one, because this is a good one here to talk about. Now, there's no errors or anything that we see on it. But what we do see is, you see the steps underneath, right above Monticello here, on the building. If you have at least 5 steps and they're full steps all the way across without any lines going vertical or whatever through them, you can send it in and get it graded for a full step designation. Now, the thing is, though, to get that designation, the coin itself has to be mint state, mint state 60 plus on it, 60 or more, let's say, on it to get that designation. I don't know, this one might come back mint state 60. It's got a lot of nicks and stuff in it, but that does look like full steps. Let me just shove it under the scope real quick and look. I don't really want to get it all set up over there again. Yeah, maybe. It would be close. It would be really close. It'd be up to the grader to decide if they believe that it's full steps or not. Let's see if I can actually get this on to show you on the camera. Again, this would be up to the grader to decide. It's a little bit soft on the one side here, but I do see at least 5 steps. Each grader grades a little bit differently, so it would be up to the grader to decide if they feel that that's actually justified as full steps or not. I've had some pretty bad luck with graders lately, though. So there's a 12. Not a big fan of these newer. These are the nickels I like more, this style Jefferson. 03. My nickels are going everywhere. I'm also looking for foreign coins when I open them up. I enjoy nickels. Some people don't. That 11 looks pretty nice. Anything from, say, about 60 on back, I will keep. These are specialty ones. They were only done for a couple years. If it's an 83, like I said earlier, I have a really nice 83 full steps in my collection. That quarter or that nickel looked a little rough. Looks like our only find rate is going to be that, probably going to be that Maya Angelou today. Well, I'll probably hang on to this one. It's an 87. We got some steppage. 87 Denver. That's not in bad shape. We got mint luster still. That's pretty nice. We'll set that up there. 1980 Philly that's in really rough shape. Hoofda. Oh, these are ones that I got through already. Getting all my coins mixed up. Usually I don't. I'm trying to get through this. This video is getting kind of long, so usually I separate out all my coins like I do, but I do them in years on these. Okay, so let's go back here because I want to show you something here. Oh yeah, this is a Denver. We'd want a Philly on these 05s, but because in an 05 Philly, you can get the speared buffalo, which is a die crack that goes right through the buffalo right here. and that's called a speared buffalo. And those are worth money. This one's got some kind of a goo or something. No, it's a marking. That's looks like it kind of comes around. Probably ring of death on it. Otherwise, I'd said this is a very nice looking nickel. So 05 Philly, you really want to look for those. $2000 Denver. That's definitely a full stepper. Set that up there. See, this is what I'm talking about, like that big gash right there. Even if this thing had full steps, you'd never get full step designation because there's that break in there. 95. And you want to check for doubling on the letters. The type of doubling we're talking about, and there's some great photos out there you can see, but if it's got like a step like we showed on those quarters where it kind of steps down to another letter, that's not double, that's machine doubling, not true doubling. True doubling will be like in the letter you'll actually see a split in the letter itself. Alright, so I was looking around, found this video, or this photo real quick I wanted to show you here. It kind of explains it here. Machine doubling. See how there's that step we were just talking about? This is what it should look like. And then here, you see how it looks like there's a split almost in the, and it's a lot smoother and everything in the transition of the double die. So it's fairly easy to tell the difference when you see it in person. So that came from Coin Talk, by the way. I'll pull up a really significant double die for you to look at an image of, because this thing is so significant. Oops. This is the 1955 double die obverse. Look at that thing. You can definitely tell. Also, there's a another one that's the 1995, which is actually could be a little bit easier to find in your everyday pocket change, but it's a little harder to see too. You look over here at In God area, see, because in like We Trust, it's not as easy. 95 Liberty, you can kind of see it, but In God on the model there, you can really see it. So that's another one to look out for. Anyway, back to our nickels here. We just about done. 89 in crappy shape. 76. Well, I think you get the idea. I'm going to just go through these myself. Oh, there's a 69S. I usually keep these too because that one's in pretty rough shape though. San Francisco ones are usually a little nicer. What do we got here? 74. Didn't really get any very old ones this time. Usually I get a lot of 50s. Oh, 64. If you guys get a 1964, unless it's in immaculate shape, toss it away. Well, not away, but send it back to the bank. In 1964, a lot of people want to bring up 1964 all the time for their coinage and stuff. They always talk, you know, oh, well, this is 1964, blah, 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 blah. A 1964 nickel. Let's see here. 64. 1964 Philly nickel, there was 1,024,000,000 minted. And a 64 Denver was 1,787,000,000. So that nickel would have to be impeccable, like basically brand new out of a mint roll and look just fabulous. It would have to look like the back of this thing, just phenomenally nice in order to get any kind of real money for it, because it's just not worth it. So anyway, that's just my takeaway here. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it was a long show. I wanted to get as much information in there as I could for you. Please comment, like, subscribe, share the link. We are building this community up. Every day I see more and more people are subscribing. So eventually we'll get to that point where we can monetize, like I said, and then I can get some really cool cameras and stuff to really be able to watch what we're doing and stuff, and a nice monitor to hook. I have a really nice scope. I have like a $300 scope that I can hook up to a monitor, and then we can have that to be able to look closely at some coins and stuff. But I need the money to be able to do that. Also, check the link down below for my Whatnot. You can come check me out on Whatnot, where I sell under Tempo Crazed. I'm also on eBay under Tempo Crazed. I don't have anything up for sale on eBay right now, but I will be putting some of these error coins that I've showed you, like this one here, the RPM, the FS503. I'll probably put this die crack one on there. The die chip here. And the this is the RPM 19 here. I'll be putting those up for sale on eBay, because that's the best place for me to get the money I need for them. Whatnot is not a good place for it. It's getting there, but it's not a great place for error coins yet. Also, if you do go on to Whatnot, a couple people that I would suggest, or I would recommend, I should say, that are worth checking out would be, there's one called SP_coins 2023. Great seller. Won't steer you wrong. If he does, I'll kick his butt. Also, Ingram, INGRAM 63. Amazing guy. Always juicing the lots and everything. Great stuff. Idaho Coin Guy is another one, all one word. He sells tons of silver stuff. Usually does like a mystery bag game, but he makes it so that you pretty much win. Slabs and Grabs. So SLABSNGRABS. Slabs and Grabs. Another great one there. Great guy. He does this Willy Wonka thing. He's got the whole outfit, the hat, the coat, everything, the cane, whatever. Doing the golden ticket thing. It's Most Dope, all one word. Great guy there, new father, just trying to put some cool stuff away for his daughter. I know there's some that I'm missing, but anyway, those. If I miss somebody, you can always hit me up. If you come out and subscribe to Whatnot and you want to hit me up in the send me a message on there and ask me who I trust, go ahead and do that, and I can kind of steer you in a way that will help you out. There are some people on there that do mean to just take your money, and that's something we need to avoid. So if you have any other questions, like I say, you can throw them down in the comments down there. I'll do my best to get back to everybody as soon as possible. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and take care.